Picture this. It's late evening. You're scrolling through hashtag memes on your favorite Discord server, and this one image catches your attention. It's a political compass meme. You know, one of the unfunniest things on the planet. But this one's different. Instead of your usual left, right, government, anarchy, here you have human, inhuman, mundane and learned, with each tile housing grotesque sketch accompanied by mysterious description. That's exactly what happened to me, and let me tell you all about it. So what's so special about this? What's so special about political compass but red? This image, this whole thing, describes a fictional universe, and an interesting one at that. Welcome to BLOODWORLD. Let's dive into it, shall we? Created by some unknown somewhere during March of 2021, BLOODWORLD is a grim-dark universe mixing sci-fi, fantasy and post-apocalypse. Each tile represents species or subspecies inhabiting the world, along with green text style description. Starting with what's most important, at the most learned and almost fully inhuman, the Thaumaturge, core of the lore. Why did you teach the AI blood magic? What do you mean it taught itself? You could have stopped this. Knows the occult more than any human. Has a plan. What does it want? This is super not good. So, a human-made AI somehow discovered and learned blood-based magic and used it to become godlike. As with other stories that use AI gone rogue trope, we should have a look at what became of humanity, or if it even survived. And survive it did, as at almost fully mundane and the most human, obviously, we have the humans. Weak and sickly. Need blood to survive. Your neighbors may drink you. Might end up a hemophage, so it's not all bad. Everyone prays to the thing that turned their world into ash. At least no one gets sick anymore. So, the first act of Thaumaturge as a god was turning the world into ash. I'm guessing through some sort of blood ritual. Though the ash wasn't the only effect of this disaster. We see that humans have their skin turned completely pale, and they don't get sick anymore. The ritual also resulted in creation of some new life, like the horrific Wasteland monsters. They are almost fully inhuman and the most mundane. If biologists still existed, they'd go crazy trying to figure out an ecosystem that's 19% predator. Everything has blood in it, including invertebrates. Everything also drinks blood. Just kind of vibing really. New ones pop up all the time. Very similar, but less mundane, we have the leeches. Not to be confused with actual leeches. No one knows how they were made. Just kinda live in the caves and trade in leathers and blood. Missing person cases sure spike where they run though. I'm sure it's nothing. Next to the monsters is the blood mound. Literally just sits there eating mud and water. Absolute bottom of the food chain. It's actually super important on account of being the foundation of blood-based ecosystem. No one knows this, but when they figure it out, oh man, doesn't even drink blood, just produces it. Soft, pudding-like texture. While I'm at it, I should probably explain what blood magic is actually. Although the name pretty much explains it already. It's a magic system where all the spells, rituals and whatnot need blood to work. It goes without saying that this is one of those evil, edgy, grimdark magics, since you know, its users need to steal blood from others, or sacrifice their own, usually in large quantities. That's why blood mount's so important. It's like a free blood generator. You put bunch of those in a pen and you're most powerful lord in your village. Alright, I seem to get ahead of myself. With all Thaumaturge's blood spawns out of the way, let's talk about how these humans even live in this wretched world. Speaking of wretched, we have, well, the wretched, at the most mundane and almost fully human. Let's try to destroy the Thaumaturge using occult techniques that peaked during the fucking Bronze Age. Everyone agreed what followed was as unfortunate as it was completely expected. Their descendants make for good eating though, plus there aren't sapient anymore. Probably. Staple cattle for pretty much everyone. This kinda reminds me of All Tomorrows. Haemoterge pulled a Q move on these dissidents. We already covered humans, so let's see what's on the tile next to them. The Drainers. Lurk in shadows, overcome by bloodthirst. Could be any one of us. They got a village last month. No remorse. Has killed before and will kill again. Children found completely emptied. We need a purge. They seem to have been human once, but got addicted to drinking blood. That's another thing about blood in blood magic. It's consumed not only by spells and rituals, but by other creatures as well. The monsters, leeches and drainers need it to survive. I mean, they need to actively consume it, and not just have it circulating through their bodies. And on top of that, you also have machines that use blood as power source. For example, the Haemoterge itself, or the implanted humans. Found Stall was given enough Haemocybernetics to hunt effectively. Either a pillar of the community or wasteland ambush predator. Needs blood just to move around in all that machinery. Might know some magic. Foot soldiers of hemophages. Or their level up versions, the Haemophages. Blessed children of the Haemoterge. Fuck aliens! Like a dozen different orders, ranging from cool to super bad. Body horror wizard vampires. Seriously, fuck aliens! Maybe plotting to drink the Haemoterge. This might be part of the plan. Or, they're even more leveled up versions, the Blood Machines. Humans who sought to emulate the Haemoterge by becoming machines. Or was it machines seeking to usurp the Haemoterge? No one knows and there aren't telling. Either way, they're super scary. But not unreasonable. They will remember the terms of the deal for far longer than your village will. These three seem to be the reason why humans are still alive. They adapted themselves to survive the wasteland and protect weaker humans who were able to settle in villages. Although it's pretty obvious that they do this only to have them as a steady and renewable supply of blood. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Or rather, dog-drink-dog. Alright, what else do we have? The angels. Don't go out at night. These are just as inhuman as the Haemoterge, but less learned. Considering that the Haemoterge is the god of this world, the angels are, well, his angels. I assume that during the night they come down to earth and hunt for anything that has blood to power their master. Next up, the cylinder, the most human and most mundane. Can only be seen with a telescope, just floats out in space, mysterious and reclusive, unlike the Haemoterge and his omnipresent glory. What could it be? Sometimes the lights on it change. Used to send signals, but stopped when the Gorgons came. I wonder if there's blood in it. This one, along with the angels, has the most vague description, but if you use your head a little, you can deduce that this is some sort of space station where other humans live. It's the most mundane, so I'm guessing most, if not all of them, have no idea about the Haemoterge, or what's happened to Earth. Oh right, the aliens. The Haemophage description mentions aliens and the cylinder stopped sending signals when the Gorgons came. And what are the Gorgons? Oh god, oh fuck! Why are there so many?! Where did Mars go?
Be not afraid.
Don't listen to them. What are they? Where are they coming from? Ah! These are not related to Haemoterge, but probably got attracted by its actions. They came from outside the solar system, hell, maybe even outside this dimension. All that is known about their origin is that they came through a portal called the White Gate. They are supposed to be the main antagonist, if you can even assume other parties are less bad. But they're not alone. They seem to have created or converted their own allies. There are ones that join them voluntarily, like the Quiet Priests. Traitors to mankind. Even drainers hate them. Have seen the White Gate. Use heretical magics. Think they will be spared by the Gorgons. They will not. And the ones that were forced into existence. For example, the blooming ones. Only started showing up recently. Power comparable to a Haemophage. Hums with ominous intent. No thoughts head empty. Yet you somehow know what it wants. Either heralded by shambling corpses and choir music or nothing at all. It's always bad.
Ooh, I'm blooming.
Or the corpses. How the fuck is it moving? There's no blood in it. Can do magic without blood. Why do I hear humming? It seems like the Gorgons, instead of blood magic, have some powers related to sound waves that can animate corpses, hence all the humming and choir music. So now you know what I knew when I first saw that image. We have cyborgs, weird occult shit, and cosmic horror aliens, aka my favorite stuff ever. The two opposing factions, the cult of Hemoturge and its blood magic, and the invading Gorgons with their sound-based death magic. Humanity's fear of artificial intelligence is dialed up to the max and into the horror territory here. And the art style. And I know you'll be laughing at me for that. I mean, yes, these are just sketches made in paint, but the idea, the design of these things is well thought out. With the heavily defined color palette of monochrome with shades of red, and each alignment has its own design principles. All Gorgon related stuff being black with tentacles and multiple tiny white eyes, if these even are eyes. And all Hemoturge related stuff having grey metal plating with red accents, bloody halos and brown robes. Personally, I much prefer art made by someone who maybe lacks in technical skill but makes it up with the idea, rather than something generic, no matter how realistic the lighting or how accurate the anatomy is. Probably because my artistic skill isn't very good and I like to think that at least subject of my drawings is somewhat interesting. So you might be asking, where did this image come from? Who made it? Is there more? Well, I already said it was made by some anon on 4chan, but besides that, this is a real special one, because with all other topics I want to cover in these videos, you have some recognition or following. They are not completely obscure, just kinda niche. But this one, oh, this one's a real deal. There's almost no info on it. Try searching for BLOODWORLD and you won't find this image or anything related to it. Well, unless this video gets popular in the future, which is rather unlikely. This one is so obscure that the only info I could find on it was on a 4chan thread that now only exists on screenshots posted on another thread that it's not even on 4chan anymore but on some archive site called 4plebs. But once you dig into all that, holy shit, it's a rabbit hole. We have lore dumps, we have an even bigger compass that's 5x5 instead of 4x4. We have more art, like this one with Lich in a cave, this one showing a bit more of what an angel looks like, or this one with a Gorgon and a bunch of humans, one of them being implanted. I was also able to find a mod for Dwarf Fortress that seems to be set in this universe, called Hemoterarchy. I don't play Dwarf Fortress though, so I can't say anything about it. But I'll leave a link in case you wanna try it out yourself. Another thing is that people in that discussion talk about BLOODWORLD like it's a setting for some sort of role-playing game. Which makes sense, since it was originally posted on /TG, a board about traditional games. Couldn't find any rulebook though, so it was either never finished or it's only available behind closed doors on some obscure Discord server, which is a bummer. Although, to be honest, the only thing I need from all that is the original image. The bigger ones add some cool stuff, but most of it feels to me like unnecessary padding. Similar with the lore dumps. It's all fun and games till OP starts writing paragraphs upon paragraphs going into detail about the least interesting things. The original image has this certain amount of mystery, but not to the point that you don't know what's going on. It tells you just enough so you have general idea of the world and a hefty amount of room for your own imagination. And that's about everything I wanted to tell you about BLOODWORLD. Unlike other topics I want to cover here, I can't really tell everything about it due to how obscure it is. But I've left links to sources I could find down in the description, so you can have a crack at it. This was Pistol Puma, thank you for watching.